Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. It's Captain Dylan Hubbard with you this morning on this chilly and brisk Gasparilla Saturday morning. It is Saturday, January 28th, and we are talking fishing. We got our good friend Captain Bobby Woodard here in studio from Fly'em High Charters. We're going to be talking inshore, nearshore, and offshore fishing, answering your questions, and having a grand old time this morning. So feel free. You could always call in and join the conversation if you have fishing questions, if you want to share a fishing report, fishing story, whatever. You can always join us by calling us at 1-800-969-9352. Remember, this is a Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Show, and we're excited on this beautiful Saturday. We finally have some great weather to look forward to, and it could not be any better this week weather-wise, and it's about time. It's been a turbulent last, 9 days, it seems like.
Yeah, for sure.
We had 3 cold fronts last week, which is insane. I mean, normally we might have one strong one or maybe 2, but to have 3 cold fronts in a 7-day period is absolutely insane.
It is.
And now we finally have some nice weather. It's calming down today. It's going to be nice tomorrow, inshore, nearshore, a little bumpy, still offshore. Then Monday, Tuesday, and even through the week, really, it doesn't get crazy again. So we're really looking forward to the nice little warm-up. And, oh my goodness, I just looked at the weather. It's gotten even better for this week. So absolutely beautiful work week coming up. Great time to get out there on the water. And for you locals, this is kind of your last chance at being able to hop on a party boat or a charter boat without trying to fight availability being low or the number of people on the water. If you have your own boat, this is a great time to get out there on the water without traffic being crazy, because we're a month away, less than a month away from spring break. I mean, February 18th is when some of those colleges start getting out, and our beach traffic and our bay traffic will start exponentially growing. So this is the time for you locals to capitalize on these little weather windows and get out there on the water.
The calm before the storm.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it, Bobby. The calm before the storm. And you were talking this morning before the show started that tarpon already starting in Boca Grande, kinda. Well, I don't know if you can say starting, but
there's some resident fish around. Yes, it's definitely not the big migratory push, but there's been some fish caught this past week.
So you're getting tarpon on the brain already?
The cowling came off the motor, and the annual service has started.
It's January. There's already tarpon being caught in Boca Grande, huh?
Yeah, the Boca Grande area, not.
Oh, I got you.
Not necessarily in the pass itself, but there's been some resident fish poking around.
Like for me, not being a tarpon expert, I always think about tarpon. It's like May, June, July, maybe into August, maybe into September, but that's really about it. But talking to you, you were talking March, April, even, as far as like kind of pre-spawn, the fish showing up kind of thing, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously with any migratory species, it's weather dependent.
Yeah,
water temp, bait migration, all that kind of fun stuff. But there's resident fish. Any fishery in Florida that has tarpon during the migratory species or during the migratory season also has resident fish.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of kind of knowing where they hang out, in the non-peak season and time, and cover water, poke around, find them, and usually they're pretty consistent with where they're at.
Yeah, and it's like the guys who are catching tarpon right now around Johns Pass, and I get photos of tarpon submitted to our fishing report almost every week, but they're mostly like teenage fish, right. What I call teenage fish, right. The 40, 50, maybe 60, 80 pounders, and a lot of those like anywhere from 30 to 40-inch fish, the smaller ones, the juveniles that they're catching up in the river while they're targeting snook.
Yeah, for sure. However, if you go far enough back up in the rivers, you get some of those resident, I call grandpappy fish, the old timers. They're gold, look like a big giant freshwater shiner. Huh. They just never leave the river.
Wow. Grandpappies.
Biggins.
The smart fish, huh?
Yeah. The ones that can't clear the water when you hook them, when they jump.
Oh, wow. Because they're that big?
That big.
And it's too shallow. They probably can't get enough gusto.
Yep. Some of those deeper river bends, are good spots.
Huh.
Yep. Power plants.
A gold tarpon. That sounds like a trophy. Yeah, so we're excited. We got great weather coming up. We're on the precipice of our spring season, and just an exciting time of year. I mean, we're, like Bobby said, the tarpon come down to weather changes, but also a lot of other things, too. I mean, we're going to see that water start warming up and those mackerel and kingfish show up.
Yeah.
And speaking of water temperature, it's like everybody has a different varying answer when you ask like their best water temperature for mackerel or kingfish, or their most likely water temperature for mackerel and kingfish. To me, I've heard anywhere from like 72 to 78 degrees, it seems like, but like the sweet spot's kind of in the middle there somewhere. What do you think it is for tarpon?
Oh, wow. The sweet spot, the ideal would probably be that 75 to 80,
Wow.
I would say.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, there's been some fish caught this past weekend, and we're in the mid-60s.
Yeah.
So, it just kind of depends. But I've heard you and Mike talk about it the last couple of weeks. The colder the winter, the better the spring season, regardless of species, in my opinion. Whether it's, snook coming out of the backwaters, whether it's the migratory tarpon, whether it's the kingfish you just mentioned.
Yeah.
The colder the winter, the better the spring season, because it's more of a transition.
So Mike says that all the time, so you agree
I agree
wholeheartedly.
100%, regardless of species you're targeting.
What about new moon incoming, full moon outgoing?
Bro, I'm on board with that. Apparently that was quite the contentious issue with Mike, but
It wasn't contentious. I was just pointing out he always says that. That's like his motto. You're the one who pointed it out to me that it's his motto. Now that he's not here, he's not listening. We can clear that air.
yeah. So no, but that tends to work well. I mean, for if we're talking tarpon, I prefer the outgoing, whether it's new moon or full moon.
Really?
Yes.
Because they're following the flush.
The crab flush, exactly.
Okay.
So you've got those bigger tides, regardless of whether it's new or full. The bigger, dropping tide in the afternoon. But with that said, I mean, we fish from before sun up to after sundown. I mean, when it's peak season, we're running doubles, sometimes triples. So
Wow. Crazy. Peak season to you. What's that?
last 2 weeks in April, all of May, most of June.
Not into July?
There's plenty of fish around, but trips start kind of tapering a little. Yeah, because you get in that post-spawn, season.
They just get spread out.
Yeah,
They have
correct.
too much pressure. The sharks are there
Correct.
too much.
Yeah, fish get spread out. So typically, from July through October, I'll only fish a 6 or 8 hour tarpon trip. Peak season, I will book 4s as well if people only want to do 4, and that way I can again fish doubles, triples.
So you're saying in peak season, last 2 weeks of April, all of May, June, you'll do 4-hour tarpon trips.
4, 6, or 8.
And then in July, August, September, October, you'll only do 6 and 8 hour tarpon trips to give yourself more time to find those fish.
Correct. We got to cover more water sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more hunting versus just driving straight to the fish and dropping a bait in the water.
Driving straight to the fish and dropping a bait in the water and hoping they bite.
Well, I mean, I can't control it.
Fish, that's the golden egg, if you will.
Yes, sir.
So we've got beautiful weather. We're on the doorstep of spring where a lot of good things happen. And according to Bobby, Capt Mike, and a lot of other captains inshore, that it really matters. Those colder winters mean a good spring. And I feel like we've had a pretty cold winter. I know I'm wearing jeans again this morning. I feel like I've worn jeans a lot more this winter. Last year we had a beautiful December. I remember Mike whining about how nice it was in December last year. It got a little nasty there in January and February last year, but it wasn't bad weather for a consistent amount of time.
Right.
We had a really windy March and April last year, which was brutal on business, but hopefully this year we've had it was kind of half and half in December. January seems to overall be pretty nasty weather, and we're coming into February and we still got some stuff on the horizon. So who knows? Maybe it's going to be that good spring. But time will tell, right?
Time will tell.
Hurry up and wait. The other news that we got going on right now is Sheep's Head. Sheep's Head are loving this bad weather, so we've talked a little bit about what we're looking forward to. What we're enjoying right now is definitely crazy Sheep's Head fishing. There's been commercial guys fishing John's Pass, and it's always interesting to me this time of year. The commercial guys are on foot with a cooler behind them and a wagon, and they are just filling coolers.
Nice.
Yeah, 4,800 quart coolers with Sheep's Head. It's absolutely insane. Seawalls, bridges, docks, it doesn't matter. It seems to all be holding really, really actively feeding Sheep's Head. And those commercial guys that are trying to catch bulk Sheep's Head in high numbers and high concentrations, they always seem to use either the barnacles or the cut oysters, and they're getting that stuff off the pilings.
Oh, for sure.
They're not buying shrimp. They're not hunting down fiddler crabs. They're just taking what's already there.
Match the hatch. That's what's there locally where they're fishing.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just sticking a bucket in the water with a scraper, scraping off some barnacles, and going to town with it. It's impressive.
It's a great tactic.
It is, and they're very successful with it as well. And every year you can almost set the clock by it. Once we have a long stretch of bad weather, they show up, and they're there for a few days, and then the weather starts getting nice, and they disappear. They stop catching them, and then they just keep moving with the fish. So,
like our beloved mullet fleet.
Exactly. The mullet fleet's always lingering in the background for sure. But we got a lot to talk about this morning. We do have a Jack Wagon of the Week coming at you at 7 o'clock. Also want to give you a reminder, we are launching our 2023 Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversations. The first one is coming up January 31st. Don't miss out. This coming Tuesday night, we've got Captain Ryan Rickard going, talking redfish, how to find fish, answering your questions. There's free food from Silver Ring Cafe, lots of free giveaways. Don't miss out. January 31st, 6 to 8 p.m., Bartow Ford. We'll be right back. Real Animals Radio. Give us a call, 1-800-969-9352 if you want to join the conversation. We'll be right back.
Sheep's Head, man. We drove out onto Boca.
Sheep's Head fishing is crazy.
When did we go? I guess it was Sunday. Yeah, because we were working on the roof last weekend. So Sunday afternoon, we were kind of getting tired, and I told Dan, I'm like, why don't we just wrap up, drive out onto Boca, and remind ourselves of why we're down here doing all this, you know? So we went over there, grabbed some lunch, and as we're driving over the bridge, I look off to the left, and the trestle, dude, boat, just lined up all the way down the trestle, man. I was like, well, Sheep's Head are in. No doubt Sheep's Head are in.
Those train trestles you're talking about?
Yeah.
Isn't there a lot of glide grouper on that too?
Oh, yeah.
Do they mess with Sheep's Head?
I've never had one get eaten.
Yeah.
Maybe they like, less bony fish. I don't know. But
seems like a Sheep's Head would be something they wouldn't mess with.
Yeah, I've never had a Sheep's Head get eaten off the hook.
Morning, Joe Key. Morning, Jack Edgar, Mike Hines, Jennifer Colarusso, Jim Demmel. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on the stream. Jack Edgar asked, where's Capt Mike today? I don't know, to be honest with you. But he's not here. He said he couldn't join this morning and didn't give me a reason why, nor did I inquire hard. But he did want us to make sure we emphasize that Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation, January 31st. Is that Tuesday? I guess that was Tuesday. It's normally Tuesday.
Yeah, I believe so. That's going to be a good one, too, man, with Ryan Rickard.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. I'm going to try to make that one myself.
Ryan is just so smart.
That is, in fact, Tuesday, yes.
Yes. That it is. Tuesday.
Yeah, Mike always gets a good guest for those, but Ryan's a good dude.
Yeah. And the fact that he won that tournament. It's crazy.
Yeah. Didn't he
He placed second.
I was going to say second, yeah. The first and second.
The biggest tournament
the 2 years
ever.
they've had it.
Yeah. The first year, second, the second year. Alcohol flush could be a sign of a serious disease. That used to happen to me all the time. Especially if I drank ginger ale, like a whiskey and ginger.
Yeah.
I would go flush. Like my ears would burn.
Yeah.
They'd turn bright red.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Alcohol flush. Yeah, it's weird. Like last night, driving home from that big party, not having a single beer and driving home, feeling good about it. It's weird.
Well, you are a year older.
Yeah. You're older and a lot more careful.
Yep. I'm sure we've all done some dumb stuff, at times in our life, but man, I'm so glad I'm past that. Have been for quite a while past that stage.
Yeah, I was just drinking too much. Morning, Mike Johnson. Dude, we're going to Monster Jam.
Are you?
Yeah, my son
Taking
is
your son?
3.5.
Yeah,
He's
nice.
going to his first Monster Jam.
That's super cool.
Yeah, we're excited.
It's crazy what they make those trucks do, man.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
I remember years ago, so I grew up on Lake Bonnie over in Lakeland, and there was a local, it was, I want to say Spikers All-American or something like that. It was a local tire shop, 4x4, whatever. They had pawn shops. They had all kinds of different family businesses.
I think this is us.
Radio show presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Sorry to let you down, y'all. No Captain Mike Anderson this morning, but you got myself, Captain Dylan Hubbard from Hubbard's Marina. You got Captain Bobby from Fly 'em High Charters. And we're talking fishing this morning, enjoying a little brisk Saturday morning as we get ready for a nice warm-up this week. Some really nice weather ahead, and looking forward to some great fishing. People are starting to wake up here. We got some calls starting to roll in. Remember, you can join the conversation too. If you have a fishing report, fishing question, if you want to talk fishing, feel free to hop on and give us a call, 1-800-969-9352. And before we take our first caller of the day, we need to know from you, if money was no option, this is Captain Bobby and I's discussion this morning. If you had no money was not an option, you had millions of dollars, you won the lottery, whatever. Are you going to buy the new 67-foot center console that was just announced with 600 horsepower outboard engines, or are you going to get a really nice sport fish?
You can't even ask that with a straight face.
You can't. It's hard to. So 67-foot center console with all the power in the world, 60-mile-an-hour top speed with a 40-mile-an-hour cruise, or are you going to go really nice sport fish? So that is the question of the day. If you want to answer it on the stream, if you want to call in, but everybody who calls in, we're going to expect an answer. So first one up, Cap Mike from Big Pine Key. How are you doing this morning, Cap Mike?
I'm doing good, and boy, that is a great question.
Tough. It's a tough one.
Being the owner of a 35 Contender with all the bells and whistles and working all the years I did to buy it, I have to say, I'll tell you exactly what I would build. I'd go to Freeman Boat Works and have them build me just the ultimate step-up center console, probably in the 47-foot range.
Ooh.
That would be the boat that I would dump as much as I could into if money were no object.
Would you go the Jimmy Buffett route and put a pilot house on it?
No, I wouldn't. I have been a offshore center console guy now this is the third center. I had a 28, then I went to a 30, and now I'm at a 35. And
nice.
And wow. I like them. They're so advanced now. I got the marine head. I got a shower in that console. I got every bell and whistle that Contender could have helped me put on it. And I love them. Don't get me wrong. it'd be hard to step away from them because that 44 ST is a beautiful, beautiful boat. They're top of the line boat. But if money were no object, I'd get in my car or truck and I would drive right to Freeman Boat Works and sit down and say, "Who's your lead designer? Let's build this boat exactly how I want it."
All right. Well, you took that a different way, but I like it. I would agree. Those are some pretty nice vessels for sure. How's it fishing down there in the Keys?
It's been great. The pelagic bite's been pretty good. Blackfin tuna, sailfish, wahoo, the works.
Nice.
We're actually starting to see an occasional mahi when the water warms up a bit. Like the high for today is going to be 80 degrees down here. It's 66 right now. Where, of course, people who come to the Keys know we battle the wind. You know, Gulf side versus Atlantic side. Which side you're going to fish that day? And but the fishing's been good. The bottom fishing, we've been doing a lot more in what I would call near shore patch reef fishing. Unlike the Tampa area, like where your bigger mangroves move in during the summertime, this is a time of year when the bigger mangoes and mutton snapper and black grouper, bigger fish are in shallow water. As shallow as maybe 15, 16 feet. And you can get on, if you have some good numbers, and I have a bunch, patch reefs, you can get into a battle with a big mutton or big mango and some other big fish just in that small depth of water. So it's
awesome.
Really good. The bridge fishermen, this time of year is bridge fishing heaven. It's wonderful and just a good time to come down to the Keys. No sweating, no worrying about dehydration this time of year.
And this is your last chance, the calm before the storm, as Bobby put it earlier, before it gets crazy with spring break. We got a little bit of time left here. Tell everybody how they can reach out to you, how they can book a trip with you if they want to visit the beautiful Keys.
Sure. It's 813-434-8086, Captain Michael, 47gmail.com, or call 1-866-GAMEFISH, and Michael will shoot you our way. And folks I follow the whole bird issue there on the Skyway, being that I have the home in Tampa, and I'm a Tampa kid originally. You come to the Keys, we don't have that problem. We don't have bird people trying to chase you off the
Not yet.
Everything.
Thank you, Captain Mike. We appreciate it, brother.
No problem. Have a great day, guys. God bless.
You too, Mike.
See you, buddy. Always a pleasure talking with Captain Mike from Big Pine Key. We've got Captain Gene Hammond from Reelin' Freedom on the other side. You can join us, too. Give us a call, 1-800-969-9352. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
15 feet. That's my kind of offshore fishing.
Yeah. This is when it gets cool out, you have the same thing up here for the gags.
Yeah.
But, January, February, that was my favorite time to do it. And even into March. But, obviously, the gag grouper season's changed, so you can't do that anymore. But I remember way back in the day, my cousin was getting married, my cousin Garrett. We went out on a boat. We were fishing like 35 foot. And, we had the gags so chummed up, they were eating pinfish off the surface.
Dude, did you see Ed Walker from last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that a lot in his commercial trips.
That dude's a stud.
Yeah, he knows his gag grouper fishing, that's for sure.
Dude, he knows everything, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the top, tarpon dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, he fishes the Keys to Homosassa, or more.
He's doing these things on social media like boat hacks, and I was like, Ed, what are you up to? This is silly. And I started watching them. I'm like, these are actually pretty good. He had the one where he had like a metal bait dip net, and the cap fell off it, so it would sink in the live well. And when you go to dip bait out and pick up the net, it pours water down your feet or down into your boot. So he filled the handle of the net.
Foam?
Spray foam, yeah. I never would have thought of that. It's very inventive.
Yeah.
And then his pinfish traps, he put Solus tape on the pinfish traps.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting to help him find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, big old strip of Solus tape hanging in the water.
Nice.
Easy way to spot your traps offshore.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what part 3 will be. Bad weather. He got the itch to start sharing tips and tricks, I guess.
So I was telling you about that 4x4 company. So they came down to my lake because it was the one closest to their shop when I was a kid. They filled this big giant like monster truck, filled the tires up with helium, and then tried to drive it on the water as like a publicity stunt.
Nice.
Obviously, it didn't work. They get out there and they got into like 5 feet of water or whatever, and they're like, okay, we should probably turn around. Because it just kind of gradually. It stayed up more than I thought it would, but then it just kind of the weight overtook the helium.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But man, I was probably 6, 7 years old.
Well, that one guy did it. What's his name? Whistling Diesel. He built a thing. He did it off Anna Maria, like Beer Can Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he drove a truck from I want to say Beer Can Island to Anna Maria area.
No way.
Yeah, big old monster truck. But he put double tires on it.
Oh, so he had extra heat. Yeah. He had
Yeah.
extra flotation.
Yeah, but it was salt water.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, he did it. It was a pretty cool video too.
Yeah.
It's like an hour-long video.
I'll
There's
have
videos of him building the truck that
Really?
did it too. Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Trying to figure out how this system works. They have this crazy screen with all these times on it, and I think I've learned it. So we'll see. Yeah, being able to drive a truck on the water is pretty interesting. Dude, a couple of days ago, on the backside of that new moon, I almost drove that sand behind the pass that we've been battling over?
Yeah.
I almost drove my truck onto it.
Yeah.
Because you can't really access it from our stop or our area, but if you drive across the street to that park, you can drive out into Madeira Beach. That's how the cops access the
really?
beach.
And then
but
around
because the jetty's so messed up and
Right.
there's so much sand built up, you could literally walk from Madeira Beach to our dock because it's dry land on the tip of the jetty and then all the way down that south side of the North Jetty.
Gotcha.
So I was looking at it, I'm like, that's wide enough for my truck. I could drive my truck from the parking lot to the beach without getting my truck wet. I was like, this would be a good publicity stunt.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to have some problems with the cops, but I could probably do this. What stopped me, though, is there's some areas of some pretty big rocks that I would have to overcome.
Yeah.
So I'd either have to drive into a foot of salt water or
Right.
try to climb a rock that's this tall out of the sand. So I was like, get my truck stuck, and then being a victim of high tide would not be good.
Yeah.
Plus, I drove my truck through salt water in Tropical Storm Ada when it flooded real bad.
Yeah.
And it messed that thing up bad.
Did it?
Had to totally replace my front end, which probably would have had to anyway because the front end goes bad when you lift them pretty quicker than they normally would.
Yeah.
But I think it exacerbated. I mean, I only got about 80,000 miles on my truck, and I had to replace the front end.
Wow.
So.
Which is funny because I might be actually lowering mine tomorrow.
Yeah.
So after the show, I'm helping a buddy replace the transmission in his truck.
Yeah.
And if we get it done today and we're not both dead, then tomorrow we're gonna lower mine. I already have the suspension and the rims and tires.
Lower it for easier
Everything.
towing.
Easier towing, getting in and out of. Fuel mileage.
Yeah.
Like I didn't buy it the way it is currently because of that's how it was. I bought it for the truck itself.
Yeah.
So I knew eventually I was going to lower it anyways, but.
Is it lifted?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a 6-inch on 37s.
Oh, wow. That's a nice lift. Bobby's taking the lift out of his truck. It's sad.
There's enough,
I haven't actually seen the truck.
It's out there.
Yeah, I'll see it today.
Yeah.
You've told me about it. It is a Dodge, though, so I'm not super excited to see it.
It also has an FGA sticker on the back, which I happen to have not seen on the Ford that's out in the parking lot, unless I just overlooked it.
Because I didn't squander away like a little squirrel FGA stickers. Yeah, we're next. I think I've figured it out now. Yes.
Show presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back. Real Animals Radio. This is a Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Show. Want to make sure we give a shout out to our friends over there at Affordable Roofing Systems. If you're looking for a new roof or you need a roof repair, make sure you check out our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. They understand that your roof is a very large investment and it protects most everything that you own. Let Affordable Roofing Systems, 3 decades of experience and roofing knowledge, guide you through that important process. Whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or flat roof, Affordable Roofing Systems is your safest choice for repairs or replacements. Affordable Roofing Systems is defined by integrity, respect, and a great professional approach to doing business. Call Affordable Roofing Systems today at 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate or visit affordableroofingflorida.com. Now, we mentioned earlier the question of the day. We had some new callers join us at break, so we want to reiterate the question of the day. If you're calling in or you're joining us on the stream, we want to know if money was no object, you won the big Powerball. Are you going to get a 67-foot center console with 5 outboard engines? Are you going to get a nice big sport fish? Captain Mike from Big Pine Key said he's going Freeman and switching it up. Now, which
is not a bad answer, by the way.
Great answer. I love the idea. That's kind of where my mind went for a second, too. But we have a guest in studio this morning, Captain Bobby Woodard from Fly 'em High Charters. And we got a couple callers we're going to get to here. Next caller is Captain Gene Hammond from Reeling Freedom. How you doing this morning, Captain Gene?
Good morning, captains. How you doing?
Doing well, brother.
Great.
Another day in paradise.
Man, I tell you what, if I did win the lottery, and I probably would go buy that boat just so I could drive it around for one day. And I'd probably take it back and just one day. Take it fishing for one day, one weekend. Bring it right back, and I'd probably pour myself into that Freeman just like Captain Mike down there.
All right.
But, that's probably what I would do.
So you're going to get the 67-foot center console.
Yeah. I already drive around
at the sandbar.
Hatteras, so we already have one of those.
Yeah. All right, so he's got the sport fish already, so he's going to try the 67-foot center console.
Yep.
Imagine showing up to the sandbar in a 67-foot center console.
Couple power poles.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
back.
that's the only reason I'd buy it, right? Just to show up, drive it up and down the intercoastal.
Oh, yeah.
Only reason.
Yeah, I wonder what the little plate says on that boat. How many people could you fit on a 67-foot center console?
I think at that point it's how many life jackets can you fit in it.
That's true. That's probably the limitation.
Just one, Captain Dillard.
There you go.
That would be nice. Just one until you pull up to the sandbar, and then it's going to fill up quickly.
That's right.
So how's fishing, man?
That's just ridiculous.
How you doing?
It's been good. We're up here in the backwaters up in Newport Richey in the Hudson area. I saw tons of snook and redfish back in Leisure Beach area last weekend.
Nice.
And they're just piling up, trying to stay warm, just like we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up in those backwaters. But we got our 5th annual Warrior Shootout coming up for Reeling Freedom.
Nice.
March 2nd is our captain's meeting. And we're going to be fishing again on March 4th down at real close to you down at Bay Pines Marina. Try to get as many veterans, and it's an effort to raise awareness for our veterans and first responders, and get as many veterans as we can on the water this year. It's a full-time job, and we're all volunteer, veteran-run organization. And we always need help, right? And it's a lot of fun to do. It's part of my therapy too, to put smiles on people that really deserve it. Smiles on the faces of people that give so much, to our freedom. So
that's awesome.
Come on out, and you can go to reelingfreedom.org. Everybody knows how to get a hold of me. I'm all over the place, and we'll have a good time again. 5th annual. I can't believe we've been doing this for 5 years now. It's crazy.
That's awesome. And how does someone find more information? Just reelingfreedom.org? That's the best place? Yep. Nice.
Reelingfreedom.org. The second link at the top of the page is the Warrior Shootout.
Awesome.
You can sign up there. If you're a veteran, if you're a family member, we run into this a lot. A lot of times veterans that are really suffering with PTSD and anxiety, they won't reach out themselves.
Yeah.
Look for those signs, and you see you have a veteran family member. If you're a family member, give us a call. We'll try to get you on the water. And it's just water has those healing properties. I always say water is therapy, and you don't even have to be catching fish as long as you're on the water watching the sunrise, sunset. It's just it's my therapy as well.
Amen.
So
Lots of
give
truth.
us a call.
Well, we appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. How does someone get a hold of you to book a charter with you?
Yeah, just go to reelingfreedom.org, or you can call me at 727-698-2959. We have a charter captain sign up there if you want to donate a few trips. We always have a few veterans that'll call us, and we will call those local charter captains and shoot them a few bucks for the money we raise to help us take veterans out. There's only 2 or 3 of us in the organization, and we always need more help. If you're a veteran, you can sign up to Fish with RF on reelingfreedom.org and get you on the list, and we'll reach out to you right away.
That's
Scott
awesome.
Bacon and Mike Stevens have really put in the back-end stuff to help us be more organized, because Paul and I are all over the place. So thank you to those two as well.
Awesome, brother. Well, we appreciate you. We look forward to the Warrior Shootout, and thanks for all you do, Captain Gene.
Hey, thanks a lot, Captain.
Thank you,
Talk
Gene.
to you soon. Have a good day.
All right, man. See you, buddy. Always a pleasure. Definitely going to be a good time. The Warrior Shootout, reelingfreedom.org for more information. Check them out. We've got Ron, the legend, the infamous Ron from Ron's Tackle Box, on the line now, and I'm sure you're going to fill us in, our freshwater guru, on how fishing's going inshore.
Good morning, Ron.
You got it. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing great. The crappie fishing is fantastic. Good time to come out here right in the middle of the season. It's been real good already. Some guys are catching small ones. Some guys are catching big ones. So it's been a real good season already, and it was good this week. Now, bass fishing slacked off last week. I don't know what happened. Some guys were getting a lot of bass, but smaller ones. And a lot of people that fish well were doing nothing.
Wow.
So we had an off week there, and it does happen. We're not paradise all year round.
So, off week for Ron at Ron's Tackle Box. What was the big bass? Like 11 pounds?
Yeah. Next week, I look forward to a better week, so it's going to be good.
So what was the big bass on your off week? Everybody wants to know.
About 4 pounds.
That, for Ron, that's saying something.
Not
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
But the spawning fish are out there already. They're spawning, they're staging, they're going crazy. So we're going to hear some big numbers here soon.
That's awesome. Well,
And I just hope that, we always practice catch and release real quick, because the minute that bass leaves that bed, it's feeding time for everybody.
Ron, on those specs, minnows or jigs?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Daytime, more jig fishing and minnows, and nighttime, all minnows.
Gotcha.
So it's been really, really decent. Good season. Seen some real pretty fish.
so not knowing virtually anything from about saltwater or freshwater fishing myself, what I've learned so far, I picked up at Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversations and hanging out with Bobby and stuff. But so a lot of people fish for specks overnight, right? With the lanterns.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
Real good. You can catch specks all year round at nighttime. All year round.
So that's the trick.
That
So
night, if you can stand the mosquitoes, you'll be okay.
in inland, I forgot about that.
This is a better time of the year because the water's colder.
Yeah, and there's less mosquitoes probably too.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fish at night in the summertime in the middle of a wooded lake. That doesn't sound very fun.
Well, sometimes it is. It depends on the weather. It's pretty pleasant to be out there at night.
Yeah.
Even in the summertime.
Probably. Yeah. Good point. Probably better at night in the summertime.
After the storms, after those afternoon storms, cool the water temp down.
And it beats the
right.
mosquitoes down a little bit.
Right.
Interesting. Learn something new every day. Very cool. Well, how does someone get a hold of you, Ron, if we wanted to come out there to beautiful Lake Alfred and visit you?
All All right, I'm at 380 South Lake Shore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. Phone number 863-956-4990.
Awesome, man.
Give me a call. This is a prime time of the year to come out and fish. 554 lakes out here in Polk County. A lot of fishing piers, some real nice small lakes, big lakes, you name it, we have it.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate our freshwater guru, as always. Thank you so much, Ron, for giving us a shout and filling us in. And what was the hot lure this week?
Well, nothing, mainly shiners and minnows they were fishing with.
I gotcha.
The booyah, we put that aside for a little bit, so.
Oh, my goodness. We finally...
That's why they didn't catch any bass.
He's waiting on a new shipment. He ran out.
Oh, I have plenty. A case of them in here.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you, Ron. We appreciate it, brother.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you, man. That was the first time I didn't hear him without skipping a beat say the booyah lipless crankbait.
You actually beat me to it. I'm thinking he's like, well, we had an off week. Nobody had the booyah. He ran out.
That's the problem. That's why he had an off week. But he never runs out. He's got them. He orders them by the pallet over there at Ron's Tackle Box. Definitely looking forward to this week. Not only do we have beautiful weather, but we also have the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation happening 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. over there at Bartow Ford. Definitely check it out. This is the first one of 2023, and we're starting off strong with a great guest. We've got Captain Ryan Rickard. He's going to be filling you in on all things fishing. Great guy, super, super well-known in the tournament circuit, probably the most well-known in the redfish tournament circuit. And just very intelligent at finding fish and knowing how to target fish, and just a wealth of information. So don't miss out. We also got free food from Silver Ring Cafe. There's going to be giveaways from Bull Bay Rods, from Ingle Coolers, from Real Animals. There's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be a great opportunity to learn more about fishing, win some free stuff, enjoy some free food, and have a good time talking fishing. So don't miss out. January 31st, this Tuesday. And then coming up February 25th, we're going to be over there at Bass Pro Shops again at 2 p.m. for our Bass Pro Shops fishing conversation. And every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m., we got our Hubbard's Marina live stream show, streaming live to the Real Animals Facebook page as well. So join us for all those great upcoming events. Real Animals Radio is going to be right back after these messages. Remember, join us, 1-800-969-9352.
Hi, I'm Benny Jr. with Bartow Ford. Everyone has heard me speak about going the
Ron also had, when I stopped in to get those for you guys, he had Maverick Golden Eyes.
What are those?
Bro.
A Maverick Goldeneye?
Maverick Golden Eye.
I know what Goldeneye is. The best N64 game ever.
Alright, so they haven't been made forever. Phenomenal snook lure. It's like it's a hard plastic, crankbait kind of. It has a really tiny little lip on it. Phenomenal snook lure around bridges, dock lights, that kind of stuff. Love them up in rivers. Like down when I used to fish the Everglades quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we'd catch tarpon, snook. I mean, you name it, dude.
On the Maverick Goldeneye.
Phenomenal old-time classic lure. I bought like 10 of them because you can't find them anywhere. When I went in there, I bought like 10 of them. It's funny, I was talking to him. He's like, one of my suppliers was getting rid of them. He's like, so I bought every one they had.
Dang. And then you bought every one Ron had?
Yeah, he still had quite a few.
You gotta show the stream.
Show the stream. I don't mind sharing that secret.
Lure. The Maverick Goldeneye. That's what we're talking about right there, folks. Maverick Goldeneye. It does look like an old-timey, especially the way where that lip is connected to the bait seems like a odd spot.
Yeah.
Like they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's just got like a real kind of nose down, real tight wobble.
Yeah.
dude.
But it's not a
phenomenal.
deep diver.
No.
Because of wet, because it's too far back.
Right.
Interesting.
If our friend Mad Snooker's listening, he'll call in on that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Mad Snooker's secret weapon.
I don't know if you know, but I know he knows of it, and I guarantee he's used it over the years.
Yeah. Dan the Fish Man said he's on it. He's ordering some Maverick Goldeneyes now.
Dan the Fish Man. Love that guy.
So Sunday morning, Real Animals radio show came up with Chuck Wagon instead of Jack Wagon. Chuck Wagon, is that,
That's like the meal cart, like the old timey out west, like on the Oregon Trail.
So that's like a term for like eating a lot?
I guess, yeah.
They were trying to make a joke with me last Sunday, and it wasn't connecting because I wasn't sure what a chuck wagon was.
Yeah, when they were in the wagon trails, the chuck wagon, or even like if you're like a cattle ranch, like you're working a herd of cattle, the chuck wagon is the wagon that the cook, the camp cook would have all of his food and utensils in.
Interesting. I think this is us next.
Radio show presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
I like the rejoin music there.
Yeah, man.
Some high intensity.
That'll wake some folks up, get them calling in.
Derek's bringing the heat this morning. We got Derek Dubois behind the glass. If you give us a shout, 1-800-969-9352. That's the first voice you'll hear. And he's the one making us sound all pretty this morning, especially Bobby. He always sounds pretty. But it is Real Animals Radio on this beautiful Saturday morning, getting ready for our Bartow Ford Real Animals fishing conversation this coming Tuesday, January 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. We hope to see you out there, over there at beautiful Bartow Ford. Remember, you can join the conversation this morning. You have fishing questions, you want to bring us a fishing report, or if you just want to answer the question of the day, which is, if you had unlimited funds, are you going to go 67-foot center console with 5 outboards, or are you going to go sport fish? We want to know. We want to hear from you. These bigger center consoles are just getting out, in my opinion, a little out of hand, but we want to hear from you. Do you want the out-of-hand center console, or do you want the sport fish? I don't know. I think I'm leaning kind of center console the more I think about it.
So I gave you my answer pre-show.
Yeah.
I just thought of a new answer that kind of isn't really within the boundaries of the question.
There's no such thing as boundaries.
But we'll get to that at the end. I want to hear the listeners' opinion.
Right. I think for me, I'm leaning more towards center console. We have a 55-foot Hatteras, beautiful boat. I love the sport fish from a bill fishing aspect. Inboard diesels are better. That's what I've always been told, and that's what I experienced when I went down to Costa Rica and did some bill fishing heavily. Inboard diesels, some about the harmonics.
Raise the fish
better. That's apparently a pretty well-known fact in the sport fishing industry, I guess.
Or a well-believed myth.
Yeah.
One or the other.
And it depends on who you ask, because some guys are running center consoles, catching plenty of bill fish too. But I don't know. From a pelagic trolling aspect, I think a sport fish would be better. But I don't know. The big, huge center console seems pretty fun. It's hard to choose. It's a tough choice. But we've got Mookie from the Lakeland Ledger on the line. Let's see which one he's going with. How are you doing this morning, Mookie?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Mook, what's up, brother?
Time, buddy.
Yeah, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm watching on the Facebook Live thing, man.
Nice. So we got
Captain
Bobby.
Man, I've been using that bait since I was like 15 years old, man. I'm 60 now.
Told you it's old school.
That makes sense.
It still works.
It's a killer bait for snook, no doubt, man. Snook tear everything up.
That's awesome, man. So the Maverick Goldeneye is the secret lure we've uncovered for us younger generations that weren't graced with the fishing prowess of past generations. The Maverick Goldeneye is the secret weapon.
Now you make me sound older than the 40 that I am. Thanks.
Bobby, you're an old soul, man. We've been over this, man. He still doesn't know how to use a smartphone, guys, so.
Yeah. But I first started using that Goldeneye down in Fort Lauderdale when I was in high school, man. I think I was about 15 years old, fishing them canals all over Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
Yeah. Pompano Beach area. Yeah, good bait, man. Good bait.
So from canals to freshwater, the Maverick Goldeneye. It's the ticket.
It works.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like I said, we used to use those things for the snook down in the canals and the marinas and stuff all around Pompano, Fort Lauderdale area, man. It's great. Yeah, good bait. Good
Awesome.
bait. Hard to find now, though, man. Now I know where to get them.
Go see Ron.
Ron's Tackle Box.
I will. Definitely.
Well, how's the fishing for you, man?
Fishing's good. Like Ron said, it's all about them specs now, man. I was down in Lake Hollingsworth just yesterday fishing along the shore, and got a couple of really nice size ones too. But I was using grass shrimp that I netted along the shore, Lake Hollingsworth there.
Nice. So what's your method if someone who is like myself who doesn't know much about freshwater fishing doesn't do it? What are you doing to go out there and net grass shrimp? Are you bringing like the pool net out there with you and just dragging the edge of the lake? What are you looking for?
Just using one of them little like dip nets, like that you get like up in Homosassa when you're netting those. I can't remember ever because the Homosassa for. I'm coming off that COVID brain fog. Just a hand dip net, and you just dip the grass and you put them in a little, cooler lined with paper towels with some ice in there, and that keeps them good and good to go.
Nice. So you're just dipping grass randomly and then sorting through it looking for shrimp?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain areas I know where grass shrimp always are, so it's like you dip them down in there and you're almost guaranteed to get them. Yeah. But if you don't know, you just got to kind of randomly go along the shore and dip, until you find them. Yeah.
Interesting. What size hook are we using for a speck?
Like a really small,
pinfish.
Like number 1, number 2, really small. Like same kind of, hook you use for like a bluegill.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Yeah, real quick.
Hook for a bluegill is, again, out of my wheelhouse. But I'm assuming what I'm envisioning is those little gold hooks that I use for pinfish.
Yeah. Mookie, do you like a little bit of a longer shank?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
Do you like a little bit of a longer shank on your spec hook?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely for the specs for some reason. Yeah, I like a longer shank for sure.
Interesting.
Not, when I'm fishing for like snapper and stuff, I like them small ones, but for the specks and bluegill and shellcracker, I like a little bit longer, definitely.
Awesome, man. Well, I didn't realize it. We got down a rabbit trail, and I was actually genuinely interested, so I lost track of time. We're kind of coming up against a break here. You have anything else you want to add, Mookie?
No, I'm good, man. It's just, Bobby, I got to give you a call sometime, man, and you're fishing a lot now. Maybe start using it in the ledger fishing reports.
Yeah, man. I'd love to help you out.
Awesome. Well,
okay, sounds good, man.
Thank you for calling in.
All right, good talking to you guys. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate you, man. See you, buddy. Always a pleasure to hear from Mookie from the Lakeland Ledger. He does a great fishing report over there. Give us a call if you want to join the conversation, 1-800-969-9352. We're live on Facebook, the Real Animals and Hubbard's Marina page. Real Animals will be right back. Looked up and I was like, oh, we're going to be late getting out.
Yeah, this is one of those hard ones too, isn't it?
Yeah, the 6:37, 7:30, you have to be out on time. The other ones you can fudge a little bit.
Yeah, Mook's a good dude. He gets around.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yep.
And I write a fishing report.
Training, Bucks games, fishing, just.
And I write a fishing report, and I do the best I can to get information from as many sources as I can. Like Salt Strong is a huge help because I can just cruise Salt Strong and read reports.
I actually joined yesterday.
Dude, it's the best.
Yeah.
But especially from writing what I use it for is getting photos and getting reports from people. It's just so easy. They serve you up everything you need to know. So you can write a really well-informed fishing report easily. But then Mookie is so good about just, for me at least, he borderline harasses me because he has to. Because a lot of times I get busy and I miss his calls or whatever. But he does a great job of staying up with me, you know. And so his reports are so informed because he's chasing down captains like Mike, like some of the top guys. Now he's adding you for our Boca Grande Tarpon report, you know. And he's just super well informed. Yeah. So every time you talk to him,
he knows everybody, and everybody knows him.
Yeah. Well, he's been calling top captains every week
for years.
For I don't know how long. Probably as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
So he does know everybody from that aspect. Crazy.
Footage of the Memphis police beating to death of Tyree Nichols was released last night, and protests were held around the country.
Dude, we got to get out of Tampa fast. How are you getting home?
So
You
I'll be
take the
going the opposite
expressway?
way, which is nice.
Oh, good.
So, I just take the Selman to 4.
Oh, nice.
4, but it's 4 eastbound.
Nice.
So, everybody else is going to be,
So you'll be able to miss it.
yeah.
I thought about that on the way over here this morning. I was like, we better get out of Tampa fast this morning.
Yeah, I'm actually going literally right around the corner from Bartow Ford to my buddies to do that transmission.
Oh, you're doing it at his barn?
Yeah.
That's cool. What are you going to do with your lift when you pull it off? Can you, resell that?
My hoist?
Yeah.
No.
No, your lift on your truck.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to sell that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured you could probably sell it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got, I think Mayhem is the brand of the wheels, of the rims. They're like offset and all that stupid.
Hey, man, watch yourself. I got a 6-inch lift on 30, I think 38s.
Yeah. So somebody, but I was gonna originally sell it together, and I'm like, you know what, somebody may already have a lift and they just want the rims, and so
Yeah.
I'll sell those and sell those.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see from a functionality standpoint, if you're getting in and out of the back of your truck all the time or towing all the time, it makes sense.
And not to mention, I mean, the fuel too, dude. It's just
The
killing
fuel
me.
is bad.
Going down, working on the house, and coming
Yeah.
back, and going down and coming back.
If I had to drive the truck long distances all the time, it would
Right,
kill me.
right.
Yeah, the fuel mileage is terrible. But I drive in the city a lot.
Exactly.
And when I do tow, you just use that step-down trailer hitch.
Right,
and
right.
I like it. For me, it's easier to get in and out of a taller truck than a shorter truck.
Yeah,
when I'm
I can see that.
I had an F-150, and it was pretty tall, but it wasn't lifted or anything. And it's hard for me to get in and out of that car.
Yeah, dude, I scored the suspension, man. It was a couple weekends ago. We were down and working on the house, and I was cleaning up, showering up for the night, because we were actually staying in an Airbnb that weekend. And I just got on Facebook Marketplace. Down in Fort Myers, a dude was selling every suspension part that I needed off of his, the stock suspension, off his Ram 2500.
Oh, nice.
$150.
Wow.
Front shocks, front springs, rear shocks, rear springs, Pitman arms. I mean, everything that I need.
Wow.
To go back stock. $150.
Dang.
I was like, hey, when can you meet?
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's the nature boy. Oh, just went away.
Yeah, they've shown him a couple times on the different stations. I'm watching Fox 13 over here.
Oh, 7 o'clock. We got Jackwagon coming up.
Yep, Jackwagon is now.
Yes.
Everybody's excited for the old Jackwagon. Then we got Captain Jim Fogel, so got a busy little block coming up.
I would assume that'll be gas briller related.
Oh, 100%. I would bet money on that one.
Bro, how great would that be? A 67 center console with power poles on the back for sandbarring.
Power poles, 6 inches wide.
Call up John and Brandon and the boys over there and be like, hey, can y'all engineer some
Tree trunks.
some XXXL?
They need to hold 5 600 horsepower motors in a 67-foot boat.
Oh man, they can do it. I'm sure. They're pretty amazing over there.
There's our disclaimer. That's how you know.
This is the
Capt Management or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
We're back. Real Animals Radio on this beautiful Saturday morning on News Radio WFLA. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. You know it's a great show when there's a disclaimer, you know? If you tune in and they're like, hey, the views and opinions of these wackos coming up next, nothing to do with us, that's how you know.
100%.
Yeah, I'm like, I settle down, I get the popcorn ready, I'm like, this is going to be a good show. So hopefully you guys feel the same. And I feel that we definitely need a disclaimer some mornings. I feel that. I feel that deep in my bones. Speaking of needing disclaimers, it is time. It is our 7 o'clock hour, top of the 7 o'clock hour. It is time for Jack Wagon of the Week.
Yes.
I was pausing for a jingle, but I know Derek is working on a jingle. We actually are working on a logo, too. Capt Mike has some logos worked up, so we're actually going to see a jingle inbound and also a logo as well. So we're probably going to have you guys voting on the logo here. So pay attention to the Real Animals Facebook page, the Instagram page. Make sure you follow Real Animals and Hubbard's Marina on Facebook, Instagram, and all that. And also Fly 'em High Charters. We got our good buddy, Captain Bobby from Fly 'em High Charters in studio this morning. We got our good friend, Captain Jim Fogel, on the line for our Milwaukee Tools Safe Boating Tip of the Week. But before we get to the Safe Boating Tip of the Week, we got to talk Jack Wagon of the Week. And Bobby, I'll let you take it away with your Jack Wagon of the Week so you can go ahead and ride first.
Nice. Trailer lights. Trailer lights. I don't care if it's a boat trailer, utility trailer, what. Make sure your lights are working, please. This morning on the way over, I passed 3 boats with no lights at all. No side running lights, no tail lights, nothing.
Solid. Did they even, I wonder if the plug was even plugged in.
You know, I was driving a bit too fast to look. But with that said,
when I see that, I'm like, did they even bother to plug the plug in?
It's just it drives me crazy. It's one of the easiest things there is to maintain on a boat. You could do it on dry land. It's not in a slip. It's not on a lift. You're not upside down reaching under a hatch that you can't get to. Like it's simple.
You know what really grinds his gears?
Simple stuff that people neglect. That it's just nuts. But I personally mount mine up high on the guide poles.
Yeah.
The connections, it's a solid line grounded all the way up to the truck, not the trailer. And it's one run. There's no breaks in the line. Yep. So the connection is up high above the water. I do my trailer lights one time and they last years.
That's how it's done, folks. Mount them up high, no connections, no brakes, right to the truck. I know personally, my father, we have one like trailer bar, we call it a light bar, and it's literally just a 2x6 with a license plate on it and lights.
White boot.
Yeah, and we move that from trailer to trailer to trailer.
Yes.
And often those lights don't work.
So I have no problem with that setup as long as the lights work.
Yeah. So definitely it hit home for me. It resonated.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Again, I understand. So definitely want to make sure you keep your trailer lights working. That is a easy fix. Don't ignore the small stuff. The small stuff adds up to a big issue, so make sure you're paying attention there. My Jack Wagon of the Week, we kind of both agreed on this one too, so Bobby gets some credit for it as well, is our recent FWC workshop on the Skyway issues with the Pelicans. Now they're calling for a complete closure of sabiki rigs over a certain area of the pier, approximately 0.26 miles. So more than a quarter mile of the pier would be closed. The deepest portion, where you'd want a sabiki rig the most, is now potentially being closed to sabikis. And fishermen came to the table and tried to reach some really logical kind of consensus. We even offered up some concessions to try to reach consensus, and unfortunately some radical aspects of the birding enthusiast groups just met us with total consternation and just wanted absolutely all or nothing. So really, really frustrating to see fishermen trying to solve a problem that we realize is a problem. We care about the birds as well, but we're painted as villains and the total cause of the problem when there's self-admitted felony acts being committed. And what's really crazy, Mike brought this up a little while back, is so you're not allowed to feed birds. It's illegal. But there's certain groups that are feeding the birds and admitting to feeding the birds in the name of saving the birds.
And documenting that they're feeding the birds.
Documenting and posting that they're feeding the birds. And the FWC law enforcement, when cornered, said they're doing it with good intentions. It's good intentions that they're doing it. So they're allowed to. It's basically officer interpretation.
I'm going to need to rob a bank to feed my family.
Yeah.
That's good intentions, right?
I'm going to sell crack to save some crackheads, you know? I mean, where are we going to draw the line there?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Super frustrating, but Jackwagon of the Week, definitely two good ones there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them as well. So moving on to more positive things, we got Captain Jim Fogel on the line for our Milwaukee Tools Safe Boating Tip of the Week. How you doing this morning, Captain Jim?
Hey, great. Warming up, thankfully. Good to hear you and Captain Bobby there.
Good morning.
Keeping everybody squared away. You guys are unchaperoned, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. No supervision this morning, thankfully.
Oh, yeah.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Excuse me, I want to talk a little bit about the Gasparilla Boat Parade this morning.
Yes, sir.
If you are going, please make sure you've got full gas tanks and that your batteries are charged up, and that you do not sit there at anchor or tied up somewhere all day with your radio on and run the battery down. It's going to be hard enough to steer a boat in those areas, you know, with full steam. If you don't have any power, you're really in trouble.
Amen.
By the same token, paddle vessels and jet skis are not allowed anywhere near the parade route. I'll say it again. Jet skis and paddle boats or paddle craft are not allowed anywhere in the parade area from 0900 until 2:30 this afternoon.
Interesting.
All of that area is no wake zone from 0900. That means just what it says, no wake, minimum power to move your vessel, and that's it.
Wow.
But please, if you're a novice boater, if you don't boat that much, please stay away from that area. It's a real confined area. There are just way too many boats in there. I mean, everybody's trying to have a good time. There's lots to see. It is going to be cold today, even though it's supposed to warm up to in the 70s. But that water is still going to be 60 degrees. So dress for the cold. It's going to be chilly.
Amen.
Vessels are reminded they've got to stay 50 feet away from any official vessels, and you can't throw any beads to the boats. I think they're supposed to try to keep the pirates from throwing beads today. It is against Florida law to throw anything into those waters, especially plastic beads. It's a fun thing, but please be careful over there. Like I said, there's way too many boats. There are going to be lots of law enforcement boats over there today helping out and keeping watch. So just mind your P's and Q's. One more thing. There's that Mahoney rule that they set up last time. No weapons may be discharged unless you're on a pirate vessel. So unless you're on one of those 3 boats, you can't be shooting off any blanks or cannons or any of that sort of stuff from your boat.
We break that rule often. I'm surprised. I've never heard that. Is that a new rule? Because last year we were shooting cannon off our boat.
Illegal last year too.
Huh.
I think they just started last year. But if you're not, like I say, I think there's only three sanctioned pirate vessels, and those are the 3 vessels that are allowed to fire blank cannon fire and maybe pistols also.
Huh.
Yeah, y'all got away last year. Or you were on Mahoney's boat, maybe.
No, we had the Rough Riders with us, so maybe they were sanctioned. That's what I'm thinking, because they're actually part of the parade.
What it was.
Yeah, they're part of the parade.
Well, that's what it would have been. Okay, well, that's cool. That's good.
I was like, oh, did I just
All
admit
right,
something?
Keep up the good work.
I appreciate it.
Be safe out there. This is Captain Jim Fogel for the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete. Be safe out there.
Thank you, Captain Jim. We appreciate you, buddy, as always, with our safe boating tip of the week. That was brought to you by Milwaukee Tool, keeping you safe out there on the water. Definitely, I think the Jack Wagon of the week next week, or Jack Wagon of the week tomorrow, is probably going to be the whiskey throttle oversteering guy in front of you at Gasparilla.
I was going to say, if you don't follow Captain Jim's advice he just gave, you will be the next Jack Wagon.
If you break down in the Gasparilla parade, or you're oversteering or whiskey throttling or throwing a wake, you will be the Jack Wagon of the week.
Great point about the radio, though. That's something, I mean, people do it every weekend at the sandbar as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, something people just don't think about on a boat.
Yeah, I remember I told you earlier in the show when I first got my license, all the less desirable stuff fell down to me and kind of rolled downhill. Being a new captain with a brand new license, and the one trip I ran often was the shark trip. It's a Friday night shark trip. We go out there, we anchor up, we chum, and we sit at anchor for 3, 4, 5 hours,
right,
catching sharks. And sometimes you don't start the engines for 4 hours, you know, and you're running live wells, you're running pumps, you're running the radio, you're running lights,
right,
all this stuff. And that was always my biggest concern in the back of my head. And I would literally just start the engine like every hour and a half or so and let it run for 15 minutes. And people will ask why. I'm like, oh, we're going to try to get a motorbite. In reality, I just want to make sure those batteries were charged and that thing was going to turn over. Definitely something you want to make sure you keep your mind on. But give us a call if you want to join the conversation. If you have a question, if you have a fishing report for us, we'd love to hear from you. 1-800-969-9352. You can talk to the man, the myth, legend behind the glass, Derek, who's making us sound beautiful this morning. We're going to be right back on the other side after these messages. Check us out on the stream, too, Facebook on Real Animals and Hubbard's Marina page. We'll be right back. Just put a pirate flag on the boat and you can say it identifies as a pirate vessel. Fire away, Captain. It's a great point, Ronnie. It identifies as a pirate ship.
That's funny.
Uh-oh. Mike must be awake.
Mahoney or?
Someone commented it's a Real Animals fishing show, and the only people that have access to that are me or Mike Anderson. So yeah. He said, I just went over the Skyway Bridge, and it's very nautical out there. Pirates beware. That must have been fun. That's one thing about those tall diesel trucks going over the Skyway and some high winds.
Yeah.
Always interesting.
What's the threshold they close at? Is it?
I have no idea. I think it's like 30 miles an hour.
Oh, is it
25,
that high?
30 miles.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Dude, can you imagine like a semi or something?
I could not. Just driving my truck, I'm pretty good with it. I whip it around now. I'm pretty confident in it. But there's times where things get tight and I'm like, ugh. Mm-hmm. Imagine driving a semi truck for a living. And like I see them pull into parking lots and like back into like offload stuff. Yeah. It's like you have no idea where you're going. You're driving across the country. Yeah. And like you got to pee. You got to get off the exit. Yeah. How do you find where to pull over? And like it's when you really start thinking about it, that's a tough job,
dude. So a long time ago, it's a thankless job too.
Thankless job.
But a long time ago,
you look down upon.
Yeah.
But in reality, those guys are the backbone of this country.
Oh, for sure. So my dad won 4 refrigerated truck and trailer units in a poker game out in Texas years ago, like well before I was born.
Every story you tell me of your dad, I'm like, this guy seems like a legend.
Dude, I really wish I'd taken the time to like record his stories, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he gets these 4 reefer units. This is like back like early mid 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
Had drivers for him, whatever. But then guys would quit or this or that, whatever. There was some turnover. So if there was a route to run, he'd run it. So he had this one up into New York City.
Oh my gosh.
And the delivery was all the way at the back of an alley. He said he had to pull up, fold the mirrors in because there was no clearance, fold the mirrors in and back into this alley. And then once he got lined up, back all the way down the alley, offload, and then pull out.
Wow. That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
With the mirrors folded in, how do you back up?
Yeah, it's just nuts.
Oh my gosh. So as always, the people on the stream informed us. They said it's 40 miles an hour closes the Skyway.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's honking.
Yeah. Nick Nieves said, I was a truck driver for 18 years, and he carried a 5-gallon bucket when you can't find a gas station. That's a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't pull it off. That's
Me
a
neither.
tough job.
Me neither.
There's something about driving, not driving boats. This doesn't happen to me on the boat, but driving a vehicle, this is going to be really dangerous to admit to. I'm very conscious of it, and I do it very safely, but for any length of time, like even if I'm driving into like Tampa, 45-minute drive, something about driving, I start thinking, I'm kind of like out of body. I'm focusing on the road, but my mind starts going so fast, I get sleepy. And
Right.
I as soon as I get on the interstate and I'm in cruise control and I'm sitting there and I'm looking around, enjoying things, start thinking, I'm like falling asleep. I actually have, in my truck, I have chewing tobacco pouches that are just caffeine.
Yeah.
And like, if I know if I'm going to get in the truck and drive for more than 25 minutes, I'm packing my lip with caffeine pouches to make sure I don't get sleepy.
So 2 things. I love the fact that you prefaced it and said not on a boat.
Yeah. It doesn't happen on a boat.
Dude, same thing happens to me. So
Really?
my threshold is like maybe like an hour and a half. Like I'm going for about an hour and a half of a drive.
Yeah.
If it's over that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Like I
It's
gotta,
brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
So typically I'll pack a couple Red Bulls or something.
Yeah,
or-
I have to slam caffeine to the
Yeah.
point where I feel I'm gonna have a heart attack, or
Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
we're back. Real Animals Radio on this beautiful Saturday morning, talking fishing, answering questions, sharing our fishing reports with you. And you can join us too. Give us a call, 1-800-969-9352 if you want to join the conversation. Myself, Captain Dylan Hubbard from Hubbard's Marina. We got Captain Bobby from Fly'em High Charters in studio this morning. Want to give a shout out to our friends over there at Affordable Roofing Systems. If you're looking for a new roof or a roof repair, check out our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. They understand that your new roof is a very large investment, and it protects most everything you own. Let Affordable Roofing Systems' 3 decades of experience and roofing knowledge guide you through this important re-roofing process. Whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or a flat roof, Affordable Roofing Systems is your safest choice for repairs or replacements. Affordable Roofing Systems is defined by integrity, respect, and honesty. And they have a personalized and professional approach to doing business. Call Affordable Roofing Systems today at 888-397-ROOF, or give them a shout on their website, affordableroofingflorida.com, for your free estimate. Great people over there at Affordable Roofing Systems. If you're looking for a repair or a re-roof, make sure you give them a shout.
Great people. They helped me out a lot.
Yeah, you were telling us a story about that.
Yeah, just
even
a
though
simple phone call.
they weren't doing the job, they couldn't take your job, they were able to help you out over the phone and give you
Absolutely.
all the info.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome. Good people for sure. So we have a caller on the line. We got John from Oldsmar talking about boating. What's going on, John? How are you this morning?
Hey, Dylan. How you guys doing?
Doing well, brother.
Good morning, John.
All right.
What you got?
67-foot CC versus a Sporty.
Yes, sir.
Put me online at John Bayless up in Wanchese, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And build me a Bayless.
Great choice.
Bayless. Beautiful choice. I love it. That's a beautiful sport
now,
fish.
I mean, I love center consoles, 39 CV. Perfect. However, nope. If I'm going to go 67, I don't want 5 hanging on the back. Give me a Bayless and all the, it's got all the lettuce and tomato. Come on.
Love it.
All the lettuce and tomato. I love it. That's got some serious horsepower under the deck with one of them things, too. And they still move pretty quick as well.
Yes, they do.
The MTUs in there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Monsters. Beautiful, beautiful. I love your answer, John.
Say what?
I said, I love your answer, my man. What are you doing with that big old beautiful boat on your first weekend out?
Getting out in the loop.
Ooh, I like your style. Going bill fishing, huh?
Come on, man. West Coast at its finest. Anyhow, I'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Good to talk to y'all. Great show this morning.
Thank you very much.
Mike is Mike out there in Gasparilla land?
No. I think Mike's heading to softball land. He just wrote in that he's heading over the Skyway, so my guess is softball. But I'm not sure. That's a total guess. But
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the call, John. We appreciate your input and your answer. I love it. Bayless Boats. Yep. Great choice, buddy.
No doubt, guys. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too, man. Stay safe, stay warm, and Bayless, Vikings.
The Bayless are up there.
I think Bayless is right up there with Vikings.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jarrett Bay, some of those higher
Jarrett
end.
Bay, that's another one.
Yep.
Man. Beautiful. Now I'm slobbering. Man, what were we even talking about?
Dreams, I guess.
Dreams, hopes and dreams. But you got to dream big, right? You got to set your aspirations high. But on the thing of dreaming big, you want to dream about catching some big fish. You want to be able to find fish better. Come out and join us at Bartow Ford this Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the man, the myth, the legend. Captain Ryan Rickard is going to be out there this Tuesday, January 31st, 6 to 8 p.m. at beautiful Bartow Ford. We're going to be talking, fishing, answering your questions, having a great fishing conversation. We're going to be giving away Engel coolers. We're going to be giving away some free Real Animals swag. There's some great stuff to win from Bull Bay Rods, plus you can't forget the free food from Silver Ring Cafe, the Cubans, the stuffed, the deviled crab, the stuffed potatoes. You do not want to miss out on this Bartow Ford Real Animals fishing conversation. That's Tuesday, January 31st, 6 to 8 p.m. Then also February 25th, we're going to be out there at Bass Pro Shops at 2 p.m. talking fishing, answering your questions, and giving away free trips. Every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m., we've got the live stream show on the Real Animals Facebook and the Hubbard's Marina Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff as well. Lots of good stuff going on. Lots of great events coming up. Hopefully we'll see you out there. Don't forget to check your trailer lights, guys. Just a soft reminder again.
Please.
Yeah, Captain Bobby's kind of worked up this morning, so we want to make sure we keep him happy. We got another big segment coming up and another short one. Still quite a bit left in the show. If you want to join us, give us a call, 1-800-969-9352, or drop your questions in the chat. Y'all have a great little break here. Don't go far, though. We'll be right back. Ronnie Millsap said Cap Mike took the morning off so he could go to Ron's tackle box.
Picking up some more Maverick Golden Eyes and Royalty Purple Booyahs.
Lipless crankbaits.
That was so funny. I loved y'all's reaction. Dude, we were driving through there, and I literally passed it, and I slowed down and whipped into a Hardee's or something to make a U-turn, and Anna was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, Just give me a second. I'm like, I'm gonna run into Ron's right quick. She's like, "Oh, you're buying more fish and shit?" I'm like, "Oh," and I'm like, "It's fine." I'm like, "I'm actually getting this for Dylan and Mike." So I went in there. I was talking to Ron a little bit. While I'm talking to him, I looked up. I'm like, "Oh damn!" I'm like, "You got golden eyes?" He's like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "Oh, give me some of them too."
Throw it on.
Yeah.
So Anderson is listening in.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Yep, playing softball at Woodlawn in St. Pete." So he is live on the stream, so we got to be careful. We do have supervision.
Yes, Daddy.
Yeah. Oh, Big O said, "Be careful with micro sleep. It just happens and you jump awake." That's why I'm careful. When I start getting sleepy like that, I stop. It's either pull over and run around and wake up.
I've done jumping jacks. Yeah. People look at me like I'm crazy.
For me, I can't drive with sunglasses on.
Oh, yeah?
If my sunglasses are on, that kills me. And then one thing I learned from reading a book or listening to a podcast, I forget, but when you're in the car for long periods of time, your car will recycle air in the cabin, and it makes the AC work better, but it actually is recycling a lot of carbon dioxide, so it actually makes you more sleepy.
Okay.
So rolling down the windows and
some fresh
inflush of oxygen is actually... People say, "Oh, I roll down the windows to stay awake." That's scientific. It's infusing more oxygen into the cab of the vehicle. So I will always make sure my air is not on recycle when I know I have to drive a long distance, so I don't get that carbon dioxide buildup. And I just roll down the windows every now and again too, trying to make sure I don't get sleepy.
Yeah, I've had that for a while now. I had it really bad with my old truck because the headlights were so bad.
Yeah.
So I think it was a combination of just my natural, issue that I have, but then also just eye strain because I'm like really focused trying to see, and I switched them out to like LED bulbs. It was marginally better, but with the new truck, it's not as bad. The whole eye strain thing, but I still it's just.
Dude, my new truck headlights are ridiculous.
Are they?
I feel bad for people.
Yeah.
I have them turned down as low as they can go.
Yeah.
As like the angle,
Right.
But dude, 100 yards out, the interstate sign up in the air is lit up. It's like, what is happening?
Oh, there's a jack wagon for you.
What? People who don't adjust their headlights?
No, boats with light bars that run.
Oh, there you go. That's a great.
Jack Wagon 2.0 today.
We're going to do a third Jack Wagon of the week. Light bars. We added light bars to the Friendly Fisherman. Because,
but you don't run with them, right?
No. But we do that 12-hour night snapper trip on that boat. So when you're leaving after sunset or coming back in before sunrise, trying to find that first marker in the way John's Pass turns. Oh, no. Is that us? No. I thought it was us, but no, it's just a really good jingle. What kind of... Was that really a commercial? That was crazy.
A buddy of mine used to date a girl whose dad was like a professional jingle writer.
Really?
Yeah, they live over Feather Sound.
Jingle writer. That's a marketing man if I've ever met one. Ryan Wiggins said, "What about the trucks driving down the street with the light bars on?"
Yeah,
I have a light bar in my truck, and I have accidentally drove a very short distance with it on, but it's pretty obvious in my truck. I have a big red button, and when the light bar's on, my whole cab's red. So it's pretty hard to forget that the light bar's on.
Yeah.
And it's also so dang bright that it's like hard to forget that it's on. But one morning, early in the morning, I was leaving my neighborhood. It was dark, and I thought I saw something, so I turned the light bar on. And I cruised out of the neighborhood, took a right onto Ridge Road, and I'm like driving down the road a minute, and I'm like, oh crap, turn it off. So I definitely blinded somebody.
Yeah, it's funny. As bad as I struggled in my old truck with night vision, with strain on the water, I have phenomenal night vision.
Yeah.
So and I run pretty much the same route. So I've got my chart plotter.
Yeah.
And then I just have the knowledge of I can look at the lights on the shore, the houses and the docks,
not moving.
and I know where I'm at based upon looking at land, So I very rarely even hit like a Q-beam I have one mounted to the front of my T-top, but I very rarely hit it. But then I get jack wagons, coming at me, full light bar, full rip on the whole time. And I'm like, brother, so then I'll start hitting mine, like flashing it at them,
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if you got to turn it on, find the marker, line up with it, turn it off, and go to the marker, and then find the next one, and then
it
that's
ruins
fine.
your night vision.
I got no problem
It
with
ruins
that.
your night vision, too.
It absolutely does.
For me, I like relying on my night vision.
Yep. And that's why, so I obviously do a lot of nighttime tarpon fishing, and when I rigged my boat, I disconnected. None of my gauges light up, on my dash. All of my switch panel, they're all red backlit. I literally have my boat like black. The only lights that are on are the lights that have to be on. Nav lights, anchor light, whatever. So I try to keep it as dark as possible.
Yeah, the red light is nice. I like the red light.
WFLA News is brought to you by the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. Tell your smart device to play WFLA on iHeartRadio.
This is us now.
Radio, WFLA. This is the Bartow. Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back, Real Animals Radio here on 970 WFLA, News Radio 970 WFLA. Don't forget, January 31st, this Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m., we're going to be over there at beautiful Bartow Ford talking fishing with Captain Ryan Rickard. We got free food from Silver Ring Cafe, Free coolers from Engel Coolers, bait boxes, stuff like that. We got Real Animal swag. Got lots of really good stuff. So make sure you join us Tuesday. Mike is listening, so we got to make sure we continue to plug that heavily. He asked me yesterday, he was like, hey, don't forget to do this. I'm like, bro, come on. You taught me well. It's not amateur hour anymore.
Dude, the way you handled that affordable roofing, you
re-roof? I snuck it in there?
Yeah. True professional. True professional.
Thank you. I love how it's like they have a very professional approach to doing business, and I'm making a joke while doing it. But, hey, it is what it is. That's what you get. That's what you know you're signing up for with the professionalism over here at Real Animals Radio. But looking forward to a great little warm-up here. Some beautiful weather. We talked earlier in the show about how we finally have a nice little weather window. And this is the time to capitalize on those weather windows before it gets busy with spring break. The calm before the storm, as Captain Bobby so eloquently put it earlier, before it gets crazy, chaotic, busy. So make sure you get out there on the water, take advantage of this nice little warm-up. The sheep's head are biting like crazy. The pompano should probably heat up this week as that water calms down and clears up. We get a little bit cleaner water around some of our local passes. I bet the pompano bite's going to fire off for us. We've had a lot of silver trout whiting out there on the beaches and passes. Redfish around the dock lines, snook in the upper bay, but seemingly snook have been pretty spread out from what I've been seeing, at least in John's Pass. But we're kind of weird in John's Pass. We're like a little microcosm. What are you seeing snook wise? So with this little warming trend coming up, I would highly focus on creek mouths coming out of the backwater. Okay. If I were fishing up here in Tampa Bay, personally, I'd probably be at some old stomping grounds up in the Little Manatee. So some creek mouths up there with a well full of white bait. And where are you getting a well full of white bait this time of year? It's out of the Skyway. Yeah, just deeper. You gotta chum them up. Yeah, you gotta avoid the pelicans. Make sure you don't throw a net on them. No speaky rigs. No speaky rigs. There's so many things you just said. We're just gonna avoid that and keep it moving. So I will say, to add to that, people say snook won't eat white bait when the water's cold. That is absolutely not true. In my head, when you said well full of white bait, I'm like, A, you can't find white bait easily this time of year, and B, I thought it was a crustacean feed this time of year. Generally speaking, when the bait's hard, but like coming off the front, a little warming trend, if you can get the bait, get it in front of the snook, they'll eat it. All right. So the snook are going to be warming up with the weather and getting a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more frisky, and that frisky, a little bit faster moving live bait's going to get them feeding well, huh? Yeah, I mean, they know the time of year. They know when their opportunity to feed is, or when their opportunity to kind of chill out a little bit, because it's going to be colder next time the front comes. So they kind of poke their head out and get a little bit more active here and there in between the fronts. Smart fish. I wouldn't put it past them. Also, black drum. It seems like black drum are more active than normal. Is that seasonal? What are we seeing with the black drum? It seems like everybody and their brother is catching black drum right now, even in John's Pass. Are they? Yeah, I mean, this young angler who, one of our crew members over there, part of our Hubbard's Marina family at Don's Dock, brings his son quite a bit, and his son fishes all day off the dock. And he's been stroking some pretty big black drum. Nice. Yeah. Nice. And been seeing it out on the jetty, out on the beach, people catching black drum and sending him photos. So seems like there's a lot more black drum around than normal. Shrimping it? Shrimping it. Yeah. Shrimping. Nice. Nice. Yeah. For me, black drum is typically like a late winter, early springish kind of thing. Like right now? A little bit later, like February, late February, early March. I got you. Before I start really kind of trying to look for tarpon and transition to tarpon. Areas around like Tierra Verde, Clam Bar, Is it biannual? Like, is it happen twice, or is that's generally the time of year? Usually in the fall. I mean, generally speaking, most spring fishing is also good fall fishing because, again, as we've talked in the past, it's that transition time. Mm-hmm. But in the fall, I'm focused on other stuff other than black drum. So spring and fall for the black drum, but kind of cooler weather as it transitions. So earlier spring, later fall. Yeah. And then the summertime around the bridges, the half a blue crab sitting on the bottom kind of thing. To get the huge, big uglies. Right. Yeah. The 20 pounders. On the Howard Franklin, on the man, Dick Meisner.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the big old, and Terra Verde Bridge, too.
Terra Verde, right.
Yeah, Terra Verde Bridge is another one. Bay Pines Bridge, you can get some nice big ones. Definitely fun to anchor up and drop out a blue crab and just sit there and chill and have a good time.
Sit in the shade, too.
Yeah, exactly. One of my favorite bridges growing up that I fished a ton was Blinds Pass Bridge. Smaller, not a lot of boat traffic, so you'd have to deal with a lot. I had a small skiff, and I was geographically constrained because I was a little young, and my parents didn't want me too far from the house. But that Blinds Pass Bridge, man, I caught big black drum under there too.
There's definitely no snook there.
None at all. Don't go there if you want to catch big snook in the summertime. No snook. I caught a big cobia there one time too.
Nice.
Yeah, that was ironic. But fishing's going to be good this week. We're on the backside of that new moon coming up on a first quarter moon, so tides are going to be slowing down on us. But I think the fact that we're finally getting a nice little weather window, I think is going to overcome the fact that we're going to have a little weaker tides, a little lower water movement. But when the water's moving slower, you can find those areas like choke points where you're going from a bay to a bigger bay, or like the mouth of the creeks, rivers, like Captain Bobby had mentioned. So looking for those choke points to help increase that water flow and create those little rips that those fish are looking for is always a good idea when the water's moving a little slower. And what would you be going after this week out of all those fish we talked about?
I'd probably try to get on some snook, some backwater snook. Yeah, trout fishing, out on the flats would be good as well.
We didn't even mention trout yet so far.
Dude, what a wonderful problem to have.
I know.
So many species available.
Yeah, right.
But the sheep's head thing, I enjoy sheep's head fishing, but that would be more of a kind of nastier weather thing because you can always fall back on it.
Yeah.
You
hide under a bridge and
hide under a bridge, rock pile, whatever, jetty, docks, whatever.
Canal.
Yeah.
Nice. So sheep's head, fall back. Target would be snook and trout.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd do if I was inshore fishing.
Nice. That's a good solid mix. And so you mentioned, you plugged it earlier. You teased us on your answer to the 67-foot center console of the sport fish. We don't have anybody on the line.
Awesome.
We're nearing the end of the show, so everybody's anxious. I'm anxious, at least, to know your answer.
So to answer outside of the boundaries of the question, money is no object at all. I'm pulling a Greg Norman, and I've got a big, giant yacht, mega yacht, with my sporty and my center console and my flats boat sitting on the back deck of it.
Cheater. Cheater. I'm calling BS on that answer.
You said money's no object. So
Bobby is thinking big. He's thinking outside the box. He's saying mega yacht to carry his sport fish and
center console and flat skiff, polling skiff.
That's the dream, folks. That's
the dream. That is the dream.
Cruising over to like Indonesia, the Maldives,
anywhere I want to go.
Australia, the Hawaiian Islands. I love it.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
So to narrow it down though, I'm going sporty. If it's that big and it requires that much maintenance and that much fuel, that I'm going sporty. The comfort levels there. I mean, those center consoles are super nice. They've got big giant walk down V berths.
Yeah,
but they don't have big lounges, leather couches. I'm going sporty.
He's balling in comfort.
Yes, sir.
Comfort and ease. That is true. You bring up, it's like one of those things where people are like, I wouldn't drive a Ferrari. There's too much maintenance. But it's like if you have the money, maintenance isn't an issue, right? Right. But like with that center console versus that, if you're talking a 67-foot sport fish versus a 67-foot center console, the center console with 5 600 horsepower outboard engines. I mean, I can't imagine the 300-hour service.
Right.
If you're doing it yourself, that's one thing, but it's still going to be a lot of money with water pumps and all those fuel filters.
Bro, nobody who has a 67 center console with 5 outboards is doing it themselves.
You're right. I would hate to do a 5 outboards regular maintenance. That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
2 is hard enough. But yeah, that's definitely tricky. But the point of that was the scheduled maintenance on the center console would be a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
And a lot more often compared to inboard diesel. Inboard diesels are often chosen for that reason. A lot less scheduled maintenance and a lot less tendency to have issues. But Oh, someone said Captain Bobby is very informative. Keep him on here.
Thank you, guys.
You got fans on the stream there, Bobby.
Be careful with that S. I don't know if it's plural.
What?
Fans. Plural.
I was like, wait, what? What did I say? That's funny. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Remember, you can call us. We still got a little bit of time left here if you want to answer the question yourself. 67-foot center console or 67-foot sport fish. Our phone number is 1-800-969-9352. Bobby, are you coming Tuesday to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation to hear Captain Ryan Rickard dispel his secrets?
Yes, I will absolutely be there. If anybody comes to that event and leaves with less knowledge than they showed up with, or without gaining knowledge, it's their own fault.
They didn't pay attention.
Yeah, it's their own fault.
Yeah. I love going to all these fishing seminars. It's really, really fun just because, like you said, I don't think you ever stop learning.
No.
And everybody has a different technique or approach or setup. Even someone who's been guiding for many, many years, like Captain Bobby here, has the drive to go to these seminars and learn from people like Captain Ryan Rickard. And Captain Mike Anderson does a great job of lining up guests. It's always impressive to me, the guests he has for these Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversations. So definitely don't miss out. Plus the free food from Silver Ring Cafe, the stuffed potatoes, the devil crab, the free Engel cooler bait boxes and coolers, the Real Animal swag, the Bull Bay rods. You don't want to miss out on that event for sure at beautiful Bartow Ford. I love that place.
It's a great place.
Yeah, you can actually see some real trucks too, Bobby. They sell these beautiful trucks called Ford trucks at Bartow Ford.
Fords are great trucks.
Mm-hmm. He's containing himself because he's a Dodge guy.
Bro, I'm on a show sponsored by Bartow Ford. I can play the game.
He's professional too, guys. Look at that. We're going to be right back after these messages for the very last segment of the show. Unfortunately, we're only here till 8 o'clock, not a 3-hour show anymore. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show like Captain Mike always does, but we're going to be right back for the last short segment of the morning. Remember, you can call us if you want to answer the question quickly, 1-800-969-9352. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
On the free iHeartRadio app, you never paid.
I have a fan. Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh, two. She said you can make it plural. Wait, is that Anna?
Who?
That's Anna.
Oh, that doesn't count.
She's a cheater.
That doesn't count. Thank you, though, babe. That helps the ego.
I saw the kissy face, and I was like, wait, this probably isn't a real fan.
She's my #1 fan.
When's the event again? Tell him don't let the frame break on the Dodge.
Here it comes.
Yep.
Here it comes.
Didn't you get like almost stranded the last time you tried to come to do the radio show because you were driving a Dodge?
I was driving an 03.
Okay, but regardless of the fact, what kind of car was it?
And I replaced the battery. I should say batteries, plural.
You had to take your wife's car to get to the radio show last time.
I replaced the batteries, and then it was fine.
The old truck debate, it's always comical to me.
It's fun.
I don't think it really matters personally. I like Ford personally, and that's what I will always drive. But I do like those Dodge TRXs, and I like the fact that Dodge went that big screen in the the center console before anybody else. Ford is doing it now.
Are they?
The 2023 Fords, because the GM over there at Bartow Ford showed me his 2023 Tremor.
Yeah.
That thing was bad to the bone. It had a big screen like those Dodges do. But Dodge definitely did it first.
Dude, I think it's like outboards. You know, I get asked all the time about outboards, and I'm like, look, if it's one of the top major, I mean, honestly, even Tohatsu is making a good run now with their larger. You know, they've always been good with the smaller horsepower, but you know, Yamaha, Mercury, you know, you get a major. Even Suzuki's aren't bad, you know.
Yeah.
But it's about what your personal preference is and what you can get serviced in your area.
I think that's the biggest
thing. That's the thing. Because no matter what they are, they're all going to break at some point. Yeah. So having somebody you trust, who's good, knowledgeable, who can service it, whether it's a vehicle, whether it's an outboard, You know,
100%. I think that's what it comes down to is what can you get serviced as far as outboards go.
Yeah.
Because if you get something like a Suzuki, they're great. They're great motors for many applications, but it's hard to get service everywhere.
Right.
They're getting much better.
And it's hard to get
Suzuki's
it quickly
way
too,
better.
like parts, warranty parts quickly.
Honda, forget about it.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Because Honda service, the only place that services Honda engines in the freaking 3-county area is they won't come out. You actually
really?
have to bring your boat to them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So don't even bother with large Hondas unless you can trailer your boat.
Do you have a trailer for the Flying Hub?
2?
Yeah.
The Flying Hub 2 does not trailer, no.
Yeah. That's the metal one, right?
14-foot beam, it can't go on the road.
Okay.
Unless we get permits and the truck and the oversized load and all that.
Gotcha.
All our boats, all our Coast Guard inspected vessels are all 14-foot beam or greater.
Okay.
So we can't trailer them. We had the Flying Hub 2, or Flying Hub 1, which is Travis's old boat, the old live wire.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And we trailered that one.
Yeah.
Not look good on my truck. That looked real good on my truck. We're back, Real Animals Radio, for our last big segment of the morning. Another great song. The intro songs are hot this morning, getting you pumped up.
Bringing it.
Yeah, we're back with the fire. Thank you, Derek, for making us sound great this morning, as always. Always a pleasure working with the professional behind the glass, making us sound pretty. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the show this morning. This is our last big segment of the morning. We're going to kind of recap a little bit if we don't have a call and go over again what we're looking forward to, what's coming up, and definitely want to shoot another reminder. Don't miss out this Tuesday, the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation, 6 to 8 p.m. If you do, you're going to regret it. Great time, great people, great speaker, killer food, great prizes. We covered it a lot this morning, so I don't want to keep rehashing it, but I was told to, so there you go.
And Daddy's listening.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Capt Mike is out there in the Streamland, so I want to make sure I hit it hard. Also, February 25th, 2 p.m., we'll be over there at Bass Pro every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. We got that live show. We did change the time for the live show from 8:30 to 7:30, so we moved it an hour earlier. So make sure you watch out for that. Gasparilla is today. Avoid Tampa at all costs unless you are going to Gasparilla, and then good luck with that. It is going to be chilly out there. It's warming up nicely this week, and weather is calming down nicely too. So we're looking forward to the fishing picking up. Lots of good things to target. Captain Bobby's going to be targeting the snook and the trout with sheep's head as a fallback. And I would say this week for us near shore, it's all about those hogfish right now. We're doing really well on the hogfish near shore. Some good lane snapper action, a couple nice mangroves. The red grouper going well near shore, but you got to be out deeper. Definitely getting closer to 100 foot near shore, that deepest near shore water. You're going to have a better chance at catching a keeper grouper. Then offshore, the red grouper bite has been just stupid. Before this last week of really tough weather, we were absolutely crushing boat limits of red grouper back to back. It was awesome. So we're really hoping and praying we get back out there on the backside of this weather. Monday, we've added a 12-hour extreme trip. We're probably going to potentially add one Tuesday as well. Try to make sure we can capitalize on this weather window and crush some of those red grouper. Plus, our 39 hours are back into rotation. February 10th is our first 39 hour. The boat's out of dry dock. It looks beautiful. Just got home yesterday, so the Friendly Fisherman's back running its 10 hours. It's an exciting time for us at Hubbard's Marina, getting both big boats back in action. Just hoping and praying we can hold that sand back and keep operating. It's a little bit of a nightmare on the sand front there, but it is what it is. We're going to battle through it and make it a great year.
Nice.
What are you up to? Besides like building barns and taking apart trucks and rebuilding them and building boats from the ground up.
Yeah.
This man is a professional charter captain and also professional home builder, roof builder, boat builder, and truck builder. Bobby over here.
Bob the builder.
I was literally going to say that. Bob the builder over here can do it all. So
yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just out of necessity. Professional might be a bit of a stretch, but you're a
professional redneck.
Yes, I like to maintain and build my own stuff. Lots of times it's, unique, so nobody else offers it. I can't just go buy it off the shelf.
You're this type of guy that gets the 67-foot center console with the 5 engines and does your own service.
Absolutely not. Not in that scenario.
No,
bro.
That's where you draw the line.
If I've made it, I've made it. I consider that making it. You're there at the peak of that mountain.
The pinnacle has been reached.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so what are you up to this week?
Yeah, man, much the same. Just really, honestly, we're 100%. Trying to get that house ready. The tarpon season's coming. I need a place to stay, to run all those trips, and that's what we're focused on.
Yeah, Captain Bobby here has a house in what part?
Port Charlotte.
Port Charlotte. You got pretty much destroyed, totaled, right?
Yeah.
And Hurricane Ian, and he's been rebuilding that home on his own, essentially. Cleaned it up, and now you're rebuilding the roof by yourself, right?
Yeah, we've got some help. Anna, myself, and a little handyman who helps us with some stuff.
So you're doing it yourself.
We're doing it ourselves.
You don't have a professional roofing
company. I don't want
to
take all the credit, but yes, we're doing it ourselves.
So Andy's humble as well. Look at that. So definitely you're busy getting ready for tarpon season, which is right around the corner, and we're excited. Spring break is on our doorstep, the spring season. We've talked a little bit about it earlier in the show. The cooler winters, the tough winters, going to mean hopefully a really good spring bite. So it's an exciting time of year as we prepare for spring and summer.
Oh yeah, spring's going to be great.
I'm excited.
I have a feeling.
I'm excited to hide my jeans and never touch them again for 8 months.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm wearing boots this morning. Flip flops would be nice. It'd be nice to get back into those.
Yeah, I don't know where my boots are. I need to find those things. It's going to get cold here pretty soon, I have a feeling. You always get those late season fronts that get extra cold.
Yeah. I hope our spring coming up is less windy than last year.
Man, hoping and praying. That was brutal
I was tarpon fishing, and probably some of the roughest stuff I've ever fished in over the years, and to the point to where I actually had some knee problems.
Wow. That's some rough weather. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in this morning, hanging out with us here on the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Show this morning on this beautiful Saturday. Check us out tomorrow, the Real Animals Sunday Show, 7 to 9 a.m. We've got the Sunday Night Show, 7:30 p.m. on the Hubbard's Marina and Real Animals Facebook pages. Bartow Ford, Tuesday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Don't miss out. Captain Ryan Rickard, going to be a great time. Also, don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Hopefully we'll see you out there on the water. Hopefully you're going to take advantage of this nice little weather window. Y'all have a great day. Tight lines. Stay warm. We'll see you out in the water.
See you guys.
Tom Petty.
Yes, sir.
Taking us out.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show and our good buddy Captain Bobby having a great time. It was funny. I think Captain Jim said, good morning, Dylan, and Captain Bobby there. We have a captain that works with us at Hubbard's Marina, Bobby Perucci.
Oh, yeah?
He does announcements. And whenever he does announcements, he says the word there a lot.
Yeah.
So we always kind of just call him Captain Bobby there. When he said that, I was dying laughing.
That's funny.
But hopefully you guys enjoyed the show this morning. I enjoyed having you, as always.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. We look forward to seeing you Tuesday night. And hopefully tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Again, tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Lots of great stuff going on. Lots of great events coming up. And some beautiful weather. So get out there and enjoy it. Anything you want to add?
I would add that if you're a fisherman and you enjoy your freedoms and your ability to fish where you want to, how you want to, contact the FWC and let them know your thoughts on the Skyway Pelican issue.
Yeah, I think that's Marine at my FWC.
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Yeah, let's double check that. FWC comments. FWC comments.
And while Dylan's looking that up, get out to Bartow Ford this Tuesday night. Be there at B Square for sure.
We were right. Bobby and I guessed right. It's Marine at myfwc.com to submit comments. So you can literally just email them the word Marine at myfwc.com. So Marine at myfwc.com if you want to submit a comment on the Pelican issue. Hopefully we'll all see you Tuesday night. you want to book a charter with Captain Bobby there for tarpon season, check them out. Fly 'em High Charters.
Fly 'em High Charters.
Fly 'em High.
Yeah, captain-bobby.com is probably the easiest way to reach out.
Captain-bobby.com. Check them out. Definitely make sure you check them out on social media as well. Fly 'em High Charters. Hopefully we'll see you guys all soon. And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.